Have you ever fallen in love with a scrapbook layout on Pinterest but wondered how to make it feel like your layout instead of just a copy? Today's process is all about the 70-30 scrapbook guideline that I use, keeping around 70% of the original design that inspired me while adding that 30% in my own creative style to make it completely unique. I'll show you the Pinterest layout that sparked this page, explain what I chose to keep, what I changed, and why those small changes make such a big difference. If you've ever struggled with where to start or felt guilty about scraplifting, this approach might just become one of your brand new favorite ways to create. Let's say how this inspiration, which you've just seen, transforms into the layout that you got a sneak peek of that is uniquely mine. Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I'm playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, and it is Saturday, so that means it's a scrap lift. So all through July, we are playing along, and each day we are given a prompt that we go and search our pins for. And today, being Saturday, as I said, is scrap lift. And believe me, scrap lifting is a great way to get those creative juices flowing. As you've seen already, I have started to strip up my papers and followed pretty closely to the original design. Now, I am using a mix of different papers, and this is the beauty of the 70-30 rule. You don't have to have exactly what the original one had. You can use your own, but you do need to follow pretty closely to the dimensions. So I'm using 6x6 here, which you see from a Scrapbook Fantasies page. I have cut out two, which were perfectly the designs that I wanted, and then I've only used half of the other one. Then I have these really, really old pieces of paper. Like I've had them forever, since my little one in the photo, actually. And I'm finally putting them on paper so that they're at least 20 years old, because the photo of my son that I'm using today is when he was 4, so he's nearly 24, so they're 20 years old. When you are preparing, make sure that you use a good distresser, because you want those roughened up edges, and I put those in there just for that little bit of extra texture and to lift each piece off the layout. Now, I love the bricks, don't you? Aren't they magic? I'm putting in strip by strip so I can build it and then lay it down. Now, I just realized I need an extra bit, and that's based on what is in the layout. And this is where I'm really trying to keep 70% clear and staying to the original design. However, my strips are a bit bigger and mine will take up more space, and that's where the 30% creative comes in, because I need to make it mine and to work with my photo and with what I want to happen. And that's what you need to be okay with when you're doing a scrap lift. So I am just layering up the pieces one on top of the other. Isn't that beautiful? That stripped, that red and the gold. I love it. Anyhow, but back to the original. Scrap lifting, when I first started, I used to get very distressed if I didn't do it exactly the same. And my friend will attest to how I would feel that I had done the worst layout if it didn't turn out exactly as the original. So I've learnt along the way, and, you know, amazing people like Scrap Rona and the Paper Snob, they have taught me that it's okay. It's the elements that you want to keep, the ones that work for you. So I've got the downward strips that I liked, and I've got the 6x6 papers here in the patching that I liked, and that's how I'm keeping originally to the layout, and just having the one photo on it so that they're the same elements as the original. Now, I've used my die cutting machine to cut out these two different cog wheels. One, I really just wanted the scallopy edgy of that one. I didn't really matter too much about the design in the center. I just didn't want a straight circle. And then I've really got the black cog there, and that's because it is a boy layout and it fits well. And you can see how that matched with the layout up there just a second ago. Now I've got this cute photo. Isn't he adorable? He was so cute. And he was, as I said, only 4. And I can't believe that this photo is 20 years old. Oh, my goodness. So I have a pile sitting at the top of my desk. That is a pile of, you know, well-loved and wanting to be used photos, but never making the cut into a layout. And now I'm determined they're going to get onto the layout. I went through a big period of my time where I was just taking portraits of my kids, And this one I took of him. Isn't it cute? Just a cute little smile. I've added in this little bit of an embellishment here to the left-hand side. That is the same as the original layout. And then I'm going to have the title with just his name. And I'm using these stickers. These are VB or Vicky Booten ones. I'm sure they are leftovers from a pack that I've had. And they're the perfect colours. I don't have any ends left, so I'm using a upside down U, and that works for me. So I'm just going to mix them up a little bit more to get that more grungy feel there, and make sure that I have my title in place. Then I can glue it down, because we all know that our chipboards and thickers don't hold their stickiness forever for whatever reason, who knows, and they need that little bit of extra help with the glue. Now, on the branding strip of this paper, there was this little quote that says extreme boy. So I wanted to put that in there, because when he was that little, he was a funny little boy. When he was really, really little, because his sister was born, he had to be like his dad, because his dad was a stay-home dad. So he had to have his own vacuum cleaner and his own baby. So he had his own baby doll and the pram, because his dad had the pram with the baby. And then he moved into the tools like his dad, and then he became a gamer like his big brother. So he's very much an extreme boy. He's got all extremes. And even now, he's my gentlest soul. He's just very, very calm, very placid, so laid back. He's just a very funny boy, but he can play aggressively on his games, that's for certain. So there you go. Here's where I've kept it together. I love this layout, how it's come together so nicely. I'm just going to add a little bit more detail to it. You saw that I put some faux stitching around the squares. I was going to put a messy border around the whole lot, but I decided I'm not going to. I like it as it is. My creativity is coming in here now. The difference to the layout, I'm adding in some white opaque splatters, and I just wanted to add that as the grungy feel a bit more. I wanted to really bring that out on this layout, just that little bit more, making it look a bit street arty, a bit grungy, and a bit boy, really. And so I am just adding in white acrylic paints. It's the Dina Wakley one. I'm needing to get a new one. That one's drying out, and look at that. Isn't that amazing? Look how fantastic that has come together. You can see from the original, I've kept pretty close to it, but I have added my 30% of creativity by changing up the elements that are being added. Instead of a flower, I've got that patch there. I've got my title the same, but I have cogs instead of just doilies. And don't forget, there's a full playlist link below of all the people playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Go and check us out. We're lifting our pins from Pinterest, and I am in love with this page. What do you reckon, guys? Did it do a good job? Give me a thumbs up. Remember, thumbs up are really important. And leave me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're brand new here, I hope I've done enough for you to subscribe. I'm trying to hit that 1,000. Remember, I really want that as a personal goal. So thanks for watching. Come back real soon. Stay creative, and here's my next video for you.